Well, it's been an interesting couple of months, and I just wanted to show you some of the work that I've done. Little bits here and there. I did not have a way to record outside, so I used my security cameras, and actually it worked out pretty well. Um, so my plan was to still continue with updating the yard so that I could keep the rainwater away from the house. And that's been my plan since I moved in, and I've been here 3 years now. And it's been a challenge. I do a little bit each year, and this year it all came together quite to my satisfaction. So I have a small yard, and even though it's small, it is still very challenging sometimes. And the previous owner didn't do much to it, so it was just constant, trying to upgrade the soil and get things to grow. I mean, it was pretty bad. So anyway, in this clip, I just want to say I'm wearing my Moody Blues t-shirt. I got it at a concert that my husband and I went to, and we both got one. And we got some other things, and so I do wear it quite often, and I hope that it's okay that I'm wearing it. I don't know how to blur it out, but I will leave a comment about the shirt, and hopefully that will be enough to keep it from getting a copyright strike. I mean, I didn't even think about it when I was wearing it that day. I wasn't intentionally going to make a video until I actually looked at the security camera and I thought, wow, that looks pretty good. It's not bad. You can't see everything that I'm doing, but you can definitely see that as the day wore on, I had other projects to do, such as weed whacking, because my neighbor decided to mow the lawn that day. And then in this one, it's another day. I don't know what day it was. I only work when it's nice out. I can't do it in the rain because it gets really muddy. Now, in this section here, it had 3 stepping stones and there was grass around it. And when I first moved here, they were sunk so deep that it was always flooded. Whenever it rained, it was, a puddle there right over top of the stepping stones. So I've been working on that ever since I moved in, and then I decided that this year I would move the stepping stones, and you'll see a picture of that, I think, pretty soon. I moved the stepping stones and I added blocks to make a small path between the concrete and the end of the flower box that is sitting there. And that way we don't have to mow or weed whack or anything in that spot. There it is. It turned out really nice. And then I moved the stepping stones out further so that that area that is always kind of wet looks better. This is the side of the house where these stepping stones are. I made a bed there that is full of hostas and pachysandra. I just absolutely love how they look together. And these are the flower boxes that I have. Oops, there's another one. That was in progress because the stool's there. So now this is a metal sculpture that I fell in love with, and I wanted to put it there in the back. I have as you can see, a very small backyard. Um, so as I am going through this whole process in this particular part of the video, I'm removing the old blocks because they are really in bad shape. They're still usable, but I thought what I would do is replace them with the red. Now, where the red is in the back part where the bench is, that was done this spring by someone else, and they didn't do it right. As you can see, there's a spot there. So they didn't know how to cut it, and neither do I. I don't have the tools for that. So my plan was to take all the mulch they stuck in there and pick up those blocks and move them up to the red bricks. And as you can see, I'm using a little garden tool to try to lift them up because, it's really hard to do. My plan was just to replace the blocks, and that way I wouldn't have to do any other work because I'm really not experienced at doing that kind of thing. And but I thought it would be good. It's a little challenging because the blocks aren't exactly the same size. They're close, like within a quarter inch, but and then I didn't know that one side was a quarter inch larger than the opposite sides. But as you can see, I am working hard and I am doing as much as I can on my own. That's what those blocks look like. Very faded and just really not that great. But I am going to reuse them because I do need to continue with that maybe next year. This is it for me for this year. But it is looking very nice. I'm really pleased with it because it just looks clean. And so it also prevents the water from standing, next to the house because of how low it was there. And I also had a scalloped brick trim put all the way around to protect the skirting on the house. So anyway, it looks neat and tidy. I'm really happy with it. And so basically all I'm doing is replacing, taking a brick out, replacing it with a new one. Now you can see that the new bricks are lighter than the ones that are sitting underneath the bench, and that's because it rained. If it had not had those bricks there, and they're kind of graded a little down to the backyard, that means all that water doesn't collect and sit. So it just goes down the bricks and finds its way to the back. And that was the whole purpose of doing that. And to also make it look more pleasing. I really didn't like sitting out there. It was just, I don't know, just I wasn't happy with it. It didn't feel, didn't feel nice, so I wanted to make it nice for myself. If I have to live here, I might as well do what I can. And these bricks were blocks, whatever you want to call them, were only 99 cents each. So that enabled me to do quite a bit. Now, I was only, able to go and get like 7 to 10 at a time. And the reason for that is number one, my age and physical strength, but also only do what I could possibly do in a day. And that was my plan. Well, then as I'm working on this, and this is over, you know, a whole day, I would take breaks every 10 minutes just so that I could do this. I didn't save all those videos of me sitting there, but as I'm working, I do a few blocks, then I sit for a few minutes and rest, and then I go back to it. So the bricks that I have there that I'm taking out, blocks, whatever you want to call them, those will be placed in different areas where I need them. And then as time goes on, I'll replace them with the new red bricks because I did the red bricks all the way around. This is what it looks like. I'm almost done with it there. That's what that looked like. So anyway, my neighbor was helping me with at least loading and unloading the bricks. I did the rest of this. He did help me a little bit later. I was so grateful because it was a cool day, which meant I could do a lot more. He had work to do as well, or maybe he wasn't even home. I don't remember. But he did come and help me towards the end, which helped a lot because it was going to rain, and I didn't want the ground to be, open because then it would fill up with water. And eventually it did because there was that, this spot that's, it's about 6 inches, it looks like right where I'm at, looks where I'm moving it downward towards the end. that was at the end and it did fill up with water and I did not want that. So in another part of the video, I continue um, and fix that. But it was so easy to do it this way. Um, I have a lot of trouble picking things up and carrying them, but as long as I'm careful and I do it without twisting my body, I can do it. So as you see, I have a plan. I do it the same way every time. And yeah, my body gets sore, my back is sore, my legs are sore, my arms are sore, but I just keep moving forward. But I don't twist my body, and that I have discovered is the biggest problem with me doing any kind of labor. If I have to twist my body lifting a box and turning or whatever, I cannot do it. So I do what I can, and I think I'm pretty proud of myself for as much as I got done by myself. And yeah, so I'm thinking it's looking pretty good. I don't know how many blocks are there right now. I think there's about 24 that need to go. This was a very inexpensive project. It really was. I think it ended up costing me $58 with tax. So, yeah, I was really pleased with that. A lot of the decor that you see, I have already had for a while. It is not something, that I've just went out and purchased. Either it's been a gift or I have, bought it years ago. I will repaint it and repurpose it. And so even my flower pots, I repainted them and made them look nice. You can see the teal colored bridge. Well, I had that in the front yard for the last couple of years, and it was never intended to be permanent there, but I wanted one so bad. I've always wanted one, and I decided to buy one for myself the first year, just to make the front look good. And it was natural, the natural wood. Well, it aged and it really needed a good paint job, so I went ahead and painted it to give it some whimsy. And you will see later where I have taken it to the back. And yeah, so my neighbor in the last clip brought me that cart full of blocks for me to put in. He was doing his projects, and so he pushed it over there for me. That way, I didn't have to do as much picking up and loading and unloading, and so it really helps a lot to have someone that can do, some of it for you. Yeah. So I also had to scrape there were very few weeds, but there was lots of dirt and stuff that was in between the bricks. So I had to clean that out before I could put a new brick in. Um, it should have actually, I'm putting them, what this is I'm putting them there to see if I want a path with those bricks. So I figured I would just set them out and see if I like it. If I do, I'll cut them in. If not, then they'll go somewhere else. So, yeah. My neighbor thinks I'm crazy, which I probably am. So, yeah, I'm 73 and I haven't been able to do this kind of stuff in many years due to some problems that I have physically. And just in the last year or so, that has improved. And I'm very grateful that I can do this stuff because I really love doing this. This is kind of, just an extension of my creativity. I really do love to create scenes and backgrounds, and whether it's in the yard or on canvas doesn't really matter. I just love doing it. And I love, watching other people do it too. So it's just fun. It's hard work, But I'll put it there and then I'll say, well, does that work? Do I like it? I'll look at it for a day or two, and if I don't like it, well, I'll just move on and do something else with it. And but I'm so grateful that I can do that now. For a long time, I wasn't able to. So the one thing about moving here, I don't have a choice. I have to make myself healthier and stronger so that I can accomplish things on my own. It's really hard to hire people. A lot of people just don't show up, or they overpriced, or they don't do a good job. So, yeah, I've had a few that are great. I have a friend that's a carpenter, and he's been really great too. So, I mean, it's not all of them, but it is challenging. So here you see me. I have flipped over the little bridge. Now I'm going to do some more work. Almost fell. So yeah, I have to cut out some grass so that I can put that border in. And by the end of the day, I need to have everything stacked up there so that I can make it look neat and tidy. We cannot have anything out that is, um, you know, unkept. So can't have your tools out or your, buckets or anything like that. So I was working diligently to get that done so that I could beat the rain. And, I had painted that bridge, oh gosh, about a month ago, I think. And it took like 3 coats, but it was definitely worth it. It really looks cute. But you'll see that in a minute. The nice thing about this area here, this little patio, is it is in the shade for most of the day. And so if you need a good shady spot, that's where I go. It just wasn't comfortable there because of, just how everything was. Now it feels like a little hideaway, a little zen for me. Gives me pleasure. See, it's not heavy, it's just big. And it's not even big, it just, just bulky. So I have to set it up and make sure it's flat, and I want it to be by the heron that I bought, the metal heron. So I have to work on that. One of the things I did once I got that set up, I had a cardboard tray of zinnia heads that my neighbor had pulled out last fall. And I said, oh, I'll save those. And I was going to share them with a friend, but she never came and got them. So I still saved them. And I thought, well, you know what? I got a lot of dirt that I'm cleaning up over here. I will put the dirt behind that little bridge and I'll plant those zinnia heads in there. And it's been about a week since I took this particular video. And it's amazing. They are growing proficiently. It's going to be beautiful behind that little fence or bridge when they grow up. It's going to be so pretty. And I also put those ferns that are in the flower boxes on that arbor. I'm going to put them back there too because they just don't like it here. I don't know why, and they like shade, but for some reason they just don't like it there. So I'm going to put them in the back, see if they recover. If they don't, then I'll have to find somewhere else. That is part of the corner that I've been working on right there, using the old bricks, patio blocks, whatever you want to call it, and just made like a little spot there for my Buddha and my hostas in a big wash bucket and see, now you can see it's later in the day. I took a rest. I went and had lunch and rested a while, and then now I'm in the back. And it was good because it kind of dried that up a little bit. So now I'm cleaning up the dirt from the old blocks and putting them in there. And now that the sun is out, it has helped a lot. It's not nearly as cold. So, yeah, I think at this point, there I'm dumping some dirt. I have a lot of low spots, so I'm trying to reuse the dirt, just put them in the low spots. And I thought maybe that was where I put it behind the bridge, but I didn't. I may or may not have that recorded. I don't know. But anyway, oh, I must have because there's the box. That box is where the seeds were, so I must have already planted them and covered them up. So, yeah. So I'm just tidying it up right now. And yeah, that's what we did. We went to Menards and got some more of the blocks and some sand, and because at this area I needed a little bit of sand to bring the last row up a little bit. Otherwise, it wouldn't have laid well enough. So this is my neighbor Gary. He was kind enough to go with me to Menards and help me load it and unload it. We bought all of the ones we needed. I think it was 22. And finished it up. So he helped by putting in, the blocks. And yeah, that 6-inch section there, I had to fill that in. So yeah. So anyway, that's what we're doing right now. We're trying to set those in place because it is going to rain. And I didn't want it to get muddy. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now. And then we have a walkway on the other side that's between us, and he put that in, I think, last year. And then I had these extra patio blocks, so we added those to make it safer to get off of the deck steps because it was too narrow. It didn't go all the way. And so we put those in there and added a section on the other side. So it's definitely safer with the extra blocks. And someday we'll change those. We'll see what happens next year. And I won't be putting on any music in this one. I'm lucky I got all these clips put together. And I will be rearranging furniture from different areas of the yard because this was only temporary until I got the yard cleaned up, and so it'll look different in a little while. And he had to go back to do his work. But he helped a lot. That was fabulous. It really helped a lot. So they aren't set properly. They're just laying on there, so they're a little, skewed, but because it's going to rain that day, We figured we'd just get them on the ground and then we won't have any flooding, puddles or anything that'll wash away any of the sand or, so we just, figured this was the best plan to do it this way. They'll just be laying on top. And by this time, I am really, really, really tired. And here he comes back to make sure everything's going okay. He's such a good namer, good friend. Yeah, he wanted to make sure I was okay and everything. He didn't, that I didn't need him. So, yeah, if you can notice, I do have the ferns already uh, by the bridge. So, yeah. So I must have missed that particular clip, but that's all right. You don't see, you know what's there. It's fine. And as you can see, we're starting to get more shade again because the sun is setting on the other side, and I will be very glad to be done with this. Almost. And I had two extra that I was going to use in another spot over there, but I just ran out of steam. But that can be done anytime. I have to move some rock and dig down to put them in, so I'm just not looking forward to that right now. It has to be a very cool day and where I have a little time, good weather, not hot, so I can do that. I don't handle the heat very well, so. But when it's cool, if it's cool enough, I can do a lot. Okay, so here we go. I don't remember where I went unless I'm trying to see what I have in my hand. Oh, it's just a bucket. Okay, I must be cleaning up. Yep, I am. I'm cleaning up. Okay, now this is a different day. This was, oh, just about 4 days ago when I came out to finish. So now I have to take all the stuff off of the bricks that are sitting there because those bricks now need to be reset properly because all I did in order to make it look presentable was just stack them up on the end and put my decor and plants on them, um, you know, in anticipation of finishing. And so that's where that's at. And the things I had on there were not heavy, they were very light. My little stool, I love that stool. I've had that for years. I had to put some new screws in it because some of them fell out, but it looks really good. Still works. I don't think it would be a good size for anybody that was taller, but it's great for me. So what I have to do here is, you can see the dark line. That is that 6-inch spot that filled up with water and got muddy. So I have to clean it up. And last year I had the people come out and do the location survey of utilities. And so I can only go to where I'm at, where I'm going to be at. I kept pictures of them and I know exactly where everything can go. Um, and I can't go further than that because of the utilities. So everything I've done and dug or whatever is due to that. Um, where my metal butterflies are and the bridge and all that are behind the utilities. So it's a very narrow place. In fact, at the end of the steps, one of the utility lines goes right to that corner and goes around the deck. So I can't plant anything in there. I just have to put stuff on top of the ground, so, on the mulch and whatever, so it looks nice. But I can't really put anything in. I can't really poke anything in the ground. I mean, but I'm really glad I did that because it made it so much easier to put things, out and design around it. So anyway, I'm really, really happy with this. And there's more that can be done, as time goes on. But, um, I'll do it when I feel up to it or have the money or, whatever. That's just a little wooden chair. I got it at a garage sale a couple years ago and never did anything with it. So I have a little metal container, garden container that I put petunias in, and it just sits in the chair. It looks real cute. So now I am sweeping the sand and just trying to get that cleaned up and, so I can finish that area. My neighbor gave me a birdhouse pole where you can put bird feeders and stuff like that, and he put that in for me. I don't know if you can see it. It's between the white tree and the bridge. And it's really cute. And I had it had a place to put the suet blocks. So I put one in there. They're only a couple bucks. And I thought, oh, that would be interesting. So I put them out there and the birds went crazy. So then when that was all gone, I went and put another one out. Well, it was gone overnight. So I know it wasn't the birds. I mean, I saw the birds eating it, the first one, but I never saw any birds eating the second one because it was just overnight. And when I went over to look at it, when I realized it was empty, the pole had grubby hands on it. And I think it was, I don't know if it was a raccoon. I don't think raccoons go up that high on a skinny pole like that. But it was either that or it was a squirrel. And the whole thing was gone. The whole thing. And if he ate that whole thing, man, I bet he had the squirts. So I won't be buying another one of them until I can get a cage that has everything on it. So this clip, I am taking my cat. Now I have all of this speeded up quite a bit, but I'm taking my cat around because she loves to go in the stroller and be outside with me. And I do that as much as possible. So anyway, I was taking her around. That's why you saw me. And there she is. We were sitting out on the patio, and I'm taking her for another walk. So we just walk around the house. So here's some close-ups of how it looks. There's the pole with the little birdhouses and everything. This is the side yard where I moved the patio stones or the walkway stones. This is my entry deck. And then this is the corner of that area. This is a tree stump with a tree slice. And this is a little teapot I got at a garage sale that I put on there with some hanging beads. And this is my little Zen corner. Another steel butterfly that I've had for years. Thanks for watching. Bye.